Greetings, dear listener. It is an honor to have you join the Motivational Fuel podcast. I'm Wondra Spencer, your host. I'm here to inspire and empower you. As a healthcare professional, a coach, I'm passionate about sharing valuable insights on strength, love, health, self-care, motivation, inspiration, lifestyle, finances, and personal growth. Our guests on this podcast will inspire you, and they will share personal stories, experiences, providing you with tools to unlock your full potential. I am thrilled to announce that the Inspiring Drive store sponsors this podcast. Check out my website and treat yourself to motivational items to help you reach greatness. Welcome to the Motivational Fuel podcast. Happy Friday. And this is your weekly dose of inspiration, empowerment, and real talk. Whether you're tuning in from my YouTube channel or listening on your favorite podcast platform, I am so grateful that you are here with me today. I am your host, Wondra, the founder of Inspire and Drive LLC, and I am a firm believer in motivation from within. And thanks for joining me on the podcast. I can see you from all over the world, so thank you so much. And I want to help everyone uplift each other. If you're thinking about some clarity, a sense of purpose, or stability, you are at the correct podcast. And today we're going to explore some topics regarding love, health, self-care, lifestyle, finances, personal growth, and spirituality. And alongside the listeners like you, I hope this podcast today can give you some insight. So grab some tea, some coffee, water, take a deep breath, and let's fuel your drive from inside. ADHD isn't just hyperactivity. In this episode, you will hear what most people miss about adult and children's ADHD. So ADHD stands for Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder. Today's episode, Understanding Children and Adults with ADHD Beyond the Hyperactivity. So what is ADHD? It is one of the most common neurodevelopment disorders of childhood. Neurodevelopment refers to the process of how the brain grows and develops. ADHD is usually first diagnosed in childhood and it can last throughout the adulthood. Children with ADHD, they may have trouble paying attention, controlling impulsive behaviors. They may act without thinking about the results, and they can be overly active. So this month, we definitely want to get your support in ADHD, which is ADHD Awareness Month. So every year, this month is dedicated to shining a spotlight on ADHD, celebrating the strength, the challenges, and triumphs of those living with ADHD. According to the National Survey of Parents in 2022, an estimated 7 million, which is 11.4% of United States children ages 3 to 17, have been diagnosed with ADHD. ADHD is a neurodevelopment disorder that affects attention, impulsive control, activity levels, often beginning in childhood and to adulthood. So here's a deeper look into ADHD and how it impacts people. So what is ADHD? It is one of the most common neurodevelopment disorders. Is typically diagnosed in childhood and can be persistent into adulthood. ADHD affects the brain executive functions such as attention, memory, motivation, and self-regulation. So here are the three main ways and the types of ADHD. So the inattentive type, trouble focusing, forgetfulness, disorganization. The hyperactivity, impulsive type, excessive movement, impulsive actions, restlessness. And this can be a combined type, which is a mixture of inattentive and hyperactive impulsive symptoms. So some of your common symptoms in children: difficulty paying attention, they're like fidgeting, they're squirming, interrupting others, forgetting tasks, or losing items. For the ADHD in adults can be lateness, trouble prioritizing, risky behavior, relationship challenges, and memory issues. The causes and the risk factors, this can be linked to genetics, the differences in the brain structure and chemistry, and the exact cause isn't known, but research suggests it's a hypergenetic component. So some treatments for ADHD can be manageable with a couple of combinations such as behavior therapy, medications like stimulants or non-stimulants, lifestyle changes such as a routine, some exercise, mindfulness like your meditation, and you can work with the school or your workplace accommodations.
Let's take a quick break.
On my website, I have 24 paperback journals and 24 books. You can purchase them on my website, and you will save about 30% off the retail. It is 24 books per case. You can use them for study groups or giveaways. And the shipping is calculated at the checkout. So you are going to make a bigger impact with others if you're teaching them, you're gifting or inspiring. So this case can be a message for others. So living with ADHD, it doesn't define the person. It is one part of the neurological makeup. Many people with ADHD, they're creative, they're energetic, they're resilient. With the right type of support, they can thrive in school and work and with relationships. So for this month, to raise awareness for everyone to support ADHD, you can share your wearing of orange, which can be on your social media page. So it's a month-long observance, and it grew from awareness efforts into a combination campaigning and advocacy groups. The campaign purpose is to correct any misconceptions, promote access to the diagnosis and treatment, and celebrate diverse ADHD experiences. So, by raising awareness, it reduces the stigma, improves access to care across the lifespan, and highlight ADHD often starts in childhood and it can continue into adulthood. So public education increase the awareness and the likelihood that people who need help and they can get evaluated and supported. So again, you can share personal stories, some facts. Go to your local the CDC website. You can do ADHD, hashtag ADHD awareness is the key. Find your local webinars, local talks, some podcasts, online panels, and groups for support. And also put a page up, some pictures of you wearing orange or orange ribbon. Show that you're showing some support of ADHD awareness, and it could be visible to others. Your local organization within your local community, look at the CDC website, ADHD website, and you can look into your schools, workplaces, and they can share some good resources. So on the CDC website, they do have some social media content there. They have support there, some health line of summaries so you can celebrate ADHD and if you need some more information about it. So with kids, patterns of inattention, hyperactivity, this can be problems that can be helped and solved with the help of the school, with friends, neighbors. They can support too. So with the inattentive, they can make mistakes. They're not listening, following instructions. They can lose things. They can be hyperactivity, such as they can't stay seated. They're running, they're climbing, excessive talking, blurting out answers. They have a hard time waiting in line for their turn. And with the combined one, they can have everything that I listed, but they can have both inattentive, hyperactive, and which is the most form of it in children. So how this can be looked at. So preschool, 3 to 5 years old, very active, short attention span, impulsive. They can disrupt the teacher at times. Elementary school, difficulty in structured learning environments, attention, following instructions, and the teacher can be a little bit concerning for this. Adolescence, hyperactivity, inattention, disorganized, poor time management, and it's affecting their driving and academics. So with your social and school impacts, children, they can struggle with classroom routines, completing homework, conflicts, self-esteem. They can have learning disorders, anxiety, and behavior issues. So this would be a great time to talk to your healthcare professional, which is your provider, and you can get your child evaluated from 6 months, starting at 6 months, 12 years old. The earlier, the better, which will be helpful to support yourself and your child. If they're homeschool, they're going to school on site. So definitely get that support from everyone. And you can discuss this with the pediatrician. If you're an adult, you can discuss with your internal medicine provider, any mental health professional. So, some strategies for parents and teachers: a structure, a routine like printable schedules, written checklists, clear expectation, maybe some task chunking. So break up the assignments in short, manageable steps with some breaks in between, and really celebrate the positive reinforcement and their little wins. If they did their schedule for today, they wrote out their schedule, really praise them and reward for those behaviors because it will help. In the environment, a lot of breaks will be helpful if you're focusing. Break up that break for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, another 15 minutes. Collaboration. So collaborate with the teachers, the classroom, and seek out some accommodation. So ADHD in adults: persistent neurodevelopment condition, difficulties with attention, impulsive. Then it can begin in the childhood, daily life and work and relationships and home settings. Some more symptoms similar to the children: traveling, focusing on tasks, poor organization, missing appointments, interrupting others, hasty decisions, making impulsive purchases, driving behaviors, restlessness, needs to move forward, cannot relax. Hyperactivity may be lessened with age. Internal restlessness often remains, and they're having mood swings, quick frustration, occasional burnout, or low self esteem. So the diagnosis can be diagnosed in the childhood, again, 6 months or longer, or they can be diagnosed in the adulthood. You can do the typical process. It's like an interview, listing out the checklist from your family, your childhood records, occurring conditions such as anxiety, depression, and learning disorders. So your treatment options: medications, stimulant, a non-stimulant when monitored by the provider or your clinician, some coaching, planning, organization, emotional regulation, and combined care with medications plus the strategies and the skills training. So some coping techniques would be time management, blocking out that time. Use a timer, which is pretty cool to use. Focus period, building a buffer time. Maybe you're focused more in the morning versus the afternoon. Use a planner, use apps on your cell phone. Dump out things in your brain, such as your tasks, and that can reduce working memory load. Break your tasks up into small steps, so very small sprints. Have a visible checklist, which is helpful. With your environment, minimal distractions. Have accountability partners or teams, which is helpful. The movement, which has fidgety tools, make it purposeful. Schedule some exercise can help with the restlessness. Plan and pause routines. Really take a good look at your purchases. You can do some breathing exercise and meditation. So this will help out with the impulse controls. So when to seek help: definitely seek help before, if you suspect ADHD, relationships, for your safety, coping strategies. Your provider clinician can help with ADHD, some conditions, and some treatment. So definitely, if you suspect your child or yourself or your loved ones having ADHD, you can reach out to them, help them get a provider, and help is there if you need it. And if you know someone, not in your family or suspect, just lend a helping hand, and you can share this podcast with them. So thank you for listening to this podcast and the ongoing support. I hope this have helped you understand ADHD in adults and children. So my upcoming episode, which is about the mammogram day, which is awesome for this month, and breast cancer awareness. I do have a podcast that's about a few minutes long, not too long, about breast cancer, but it has some great information about it. But I do want to talk about the mammograms. You can purchase my books on my website, local retails. Remember, you have the power to share your story and uplift your spirit. My podcast is brought to you by the Inspire and Drive team. If today's episode spoke to you, share it with 5 others on the social media apps and YouTube. You can follow me at Wondra Spencer on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Alignable. And I can see everyone from across the world. Keep sending those emails. I'll send one back. Until next time, protect your energy, honor your growth, and keep driving forward. Happy Friday. Thanks. Bye-bye.
If you have listened to this entire episode, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a review and share with those who's interested. Let me know which topics you want me to cover in future episodes. You can contact me through my comments or on my social media networks. And you can purchase items on the Inspire and Drive store. I will look forward to seeing you next week for a new episode. Have a great day and remember to motivate yourself.